Okay, well, I guess 14th time's a charm. Hopefully I'll not get too much steam on the camera lens here because it's 34 degrees out here. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. At least fourth time I've done this tonight. Uh, Boob tube keeps kicking the videos off. Apparently I am not allowed to use the word super explodey when pointing to a particular part of a ogive. Y'all know what I mean, they don't, so maybe I won't immediately get us kicked off here. Anyway, like I said, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's cold out here, 34 degrees. Excuse my hoarseness, fighting a respiratory infection. Hopefully I don't have to disgustingly clear my throat or sniffle too awful much through this. Anyway, we're going to try to attempt once again to do and this is going to be really crude, crappy version. Last version was really good, and this one's going to suck. But a version of bullet selection. So, to get started here, now I have to get my train of thought again. And now I'm not even going to erase this and start over. What you guys get's what you got. So, everybody's pretty much familiar with your basic bullet profiles. Full metal jacket. You can't deer hunt with a full metal jacket. It's not allowed in any of the 50 states that I know of. Might be a few, but other than fur bearers and small critters, not allowed to game hunt with a full metal jacket. But we know what a full metal jacket is. Everybody knows what a hollow point is. Everybody knows what a soft point is. We don't have to delve into that too awful much. Basically, this was a requested video about bullet selection. For most of this was for the 223, and why a lot of people say you can't hunt with the 223, big game that is, and what bullets we're using to big game hunt with the 223. We're just going to try to delve into varmint bullets versus big game bullets. Again, I will erase and re-record this at a later date, but YouTube PO'd me, so I'm going to go ahead and at least slap something up here. Alright, first off the bat, we have the varmint bullets, and getting into polymer tips. That's just a good place to start. And no, I am not a fan of black tea. And yes, my pointer sticky is a chopstick I ran through the pencil sharpener on my nail gun, before y'all ask. So, our basic polymer tipped varmint bullet. The polymer tip is there for aerodynamics, and also helps on feeding in semi-automatics. What we have here is a 55 grain. I'll get better pictures of this in a bit, but we have a 55 grain VMAX. We have a 65 grain VMAX in the 24. The reason we're talking about the bullet selection for the game hunting is penetration. Back to the 223, which is what most of y'all are wanting me to do this on, and why I've been able to kill as many deer as I have with the 223 and what kind of expansion I get. It's because of bullet selection. Now, most of the time when people say you can't hunt with the 223, it's underpowered. It's not that it's underpowered. Most people are trying to use a varmint bullet. A varmint bullet is made to blow basically on contact. You get rapid expansion, since I can't use that other word. You get rapid, or with some bullets, the TNT, the Varmint grenade, a lot of your VMAXs. You get almost instantaneous expansion. It creates a horrendous wound, but only a few inches deep. You're not going to penetrate to the vitals. You're just going to create a really bad extraneous muscle wound. So not good. Now this isn't just in the 223. This is in anything. Even in 30 cals, 308 and even 30-06. You know, the reason they say do not use 110 grain bullets in the 30-06 to shoot deer with. Too fast of expansion, no penetration, horrendous wound, but the deer goes off and dies somewhere else. On the other end of the spectrum, one of the reasons I don't like 30-06 for most whitetail hunting is because the bullets are too heavy constructed. Yes, you get a lot of penetration, but the problem is the penetration, the bullet goes through the deer, out the backside. Anything that goes out the backside of your target is wasted energy. I don't care how much energy you have, unless that energy is transferred to the target, it's wasted energy. That being the key. Not sure how many we've got with the 223 so far. Last count that we had, and I've shot a few since then, but I just didn't bother. I think we're up to 98 maybe. All one-shot drops. A few of them have ran. The ones that have ran were the one shot with the heavier grain bullets, which we'll get to those in just a minute. But even though we're shooting a 22 caliber bullet out of an AR, the heavier construction of the 65s, for example, the 65 Game Kings, the bullet's going through before it has time to expand. Again, more energy, but all the energy is going out the backside, so it doesn't do you any good. Sorry, you'll have to get here to my apologies here for some of this nasty black tea to get over this crud. But let's see what we got here. I had a whole nice plethora of stuff in the last video that got yanked. So now I just got stuff kind of laying around. So let's see what we got here. Again, sorry for the quality of the video, but okay, let's start off with the 65 grain Softpoint boat tail Game King in the 223. And again, sorry for the glare. This is the best lighting I could get also. So we got the, I'm also trying to do this between the back of the camera and in front, but Softpoint boat tail. Notice no cantilever, complete absence of cantilever. This is a bonded bullet. The core is bonded to the jacket. That keeps the core and the jacket from separating. You will get expansion. The expansion is controlled by the jacket thickness on these. But again, this particular bullet and shooting the deer, and it's still a good deer round, so don't get me wrong. If you're going to hunt the 223, the 65 grain Game King is an excellent bullet. Just not for my preference for my size deer. When I first started hunting with the 223, I was hunting with the 65 Game Kings. I was like, heavier bullet, still a soft point, going to get expansion, small caliber, you know, need the extra oomph. Well, after about 6 deer, and 4 out of 6 deer ran, I was like, you know, this just ain't cutting it. So, first thing that comes to mind is too small a caliber. Well, next season I had some 55 grains. Yeah, they're out here somewhere. box. And these were in the first video we did about the only bullet recovered out of 97 deer. So the 55 grain, we have a candelore. Still a Softpoint. These are flat base. The candelore is not only a crimp groove for crimping for semi-autos. This is a mechanical bond, excuse me, a mechanical bond of the jacket to the core. So when this bullet starts to expand, it will only expand back to the candelore. The candelore, crimping the bullet in the, the jacket and the core together, will stop the expansion at the candelore. So it will mushroom down to here and then stop expansion and then continue with the penetration. The 55 grainers were dropping the deer dead in their tracks, even at long ranges. Lighter weight bullet, yes, you've got a little bit more velocity, but generally the lighter you go on the bullet, the more expansion, the faster expansion you're going to get. Lighter bullets are generally made for smaller game. Again, faster expansion. But then that brings us into the realm of the varmint bullets. A varmint bullet is super fast expansion, made for small critters, not made for penetration. When they hit, they need to expend all their energy in a very short amount of time because it's not a very big critter you're shooting at. They tend to turn prairie dogs inside out. Most people aren't hunting prairie dogs for game, so massive destruction, massive meat damage is not a factor. Quick, humane, again I will reiterate, humane kills, instantaneous kills, cleaner, or the quicker the cleaner. That's what a varmint bullet's made for. So then we get into our specialty bullets. Or not so much a specialty bullet. And we'll get back into the red tips here in a minute, but this is a 55 Hornady match bullet. Now this is the match with the candelore. And no, and a lot of your match bullets will not have the candelore, but this being a 55, this is made for the semi-auto rifles, so you have a crimp groove, so you can crimp the bullet to keep the bullet from setting back in the case as it shucks around from the magazine and forcibly enters in the chamber.